GME, this is the same landmark we were looking for in 2024. It's an S curve to V. So this was in 325, 2024, laying out the scenarios for GME 980 after earnings. That would have just found that B point and the continuation off the other side. Macro position was 2020. Here it is updated, obviously, off that higher low, and then the continuation off the other side. That was a perfect trade. Now, for this, this is not an I told you so, because obviously the timing was completely incorrect. But the price target hasn't changed. Ever since, from macro position, ever since we broke out in May, the pullback price target was 17 to 15. That was for this lowest point of the iterations V. Updating now to our rejection of spring 2025, that would have put us here. Wanted to see the continuation again for that price target. Here we are heading into that November equation date that I had. I really wanted to see a breakdown here to check off that V point, lowest point of this entire iteration. Should have went below $17. Instead, it resolved at a higher price. So we continue tracking from that point of fractal and uptrend with the alternative that we did not get that $17 boogeyman and that at some point that was going to be resolved. So if we rejected 28.30 in this case, that would have been then your T comparable, a lower high than M. And then we would continue tracking for that V point in the $17 to $15 price target. The eBay news did reject. That was our confirmed T May 1st. And then we continue tracking for the downside. Wanted to see if we were going to hold or break below 20. That would then further confirm that we needed that V point, $17 to $15. Micro tracking that iteration after rejection, a lower high to confirm, and then a lower high than it to also confirm, and then again breaking below that $20 support level further confirms going to find that V point at $17. We got the lower high. We got the lower high than it. The micro tracking was absolutely perfect, and our break below $20. We now have full confirmation that we are going to find that V point at $17. Here we are. So the macro position updated, looks incredible. Going to find the V. This is exactly what we needed to see, and we are finally getting it. Zooming in on just this VWAP window. So the idea here is you're going to expect $1.4 billion of debt to be exchanged for shares at whatever price we're within here. How ironic that this is going to be an exchange of shares at the most perfect V point of the last 2 years. Just something to show off for. This is an incredible part of the study. We'll see what happens. How about that? Also want to update Kitty's Law. Kitty's Law, if there is somewhere you can fit in a March to May 2024 fractal, people will fit in a March to May 2024 fractal. So in this case, we're just using 2024 March to May compared to our current CMTV basic fractal landmarks. All point out that we need that T to V point. There it is now slightly updated. Confirmed T, going to find that V point. This is the way that I like looking at it a little bit more. Previous ITMF to current ITMF, intertrend macro fractal. Zooming in, this is why, because you'll get more detail using this as a T instead of trying to zoom in and trying to get the details of this T here. Are they the same thing? They are. It's fractal. It is a self-similar pattern. So it doesn't matter if you're looking at it like this or if you're looking at it like this. But I like looking at it like this so I can use this T for better details. Here's what I mean. So we're going to zoom in now on this T and T. You can see basic fractal landmarks C, M, T, and V compared to our current C, M, T, and V. And let's zoom in on those C, M, T, and V for better detail. C, M, T, and V. So now from a macro position, we are looking for this $17 V point. From Kitty's Law perspective, we are looking for the $17 V point. Now let's take a look at seasonal cycle. This is just a progression of seasonal cycle from 2025. Wanted to see a spring high point, got the spring high point. Wanted to see a continuation to the end of the year, got the continuation to the end of the year. Again, we are looking for $17 in November. When we did not get that, we had to continue tracking this now as blue box, and that's exactly what we've been doing. Again, confirm that rejection on the eBay news. That was our spring high point. Spring is the highest point of the year. Summer consolidation, fall finds accumulation again. Winter is your reset. Just like with AMC, seasonal cycle is starting to break its rules, which is expected because we're moving into new macro. But for the time being, as long as we can continue confirming peaks and pullbacks, that's what I'll continue doing. In this example, I wanted to show that we are looking for a August bottom. Peaks and troughs, we got our July peak. Now we're looking for an August bottom. The example that I'm using, and I want to zoom in on, is the 2024 example, since August was a V point, and then at higher load, September, October, higher load from that point. That is the confirmation that we're also looking for out of our macro position. That V, a higher low off the other side, and then a continuation to break. So using these two things together, I'm assuming, and I'm looking for, tracking for a August V, a September peak, October higher low, and a continuation into a fractal break. Again, seasonal cycle is dissolving on both these tickers, so I don't want to consider them completely reliable, but I am going to continue updating each peak and pullback as long as I can. Zooming in on just the 2024 summer to August. Again, a July lower high, August bottom, July lower high, August bottom within that price range. That would be perfect. Price and time is going to confirm that V point. And then this is just for a volume profile. Why $17 to $15? You have this open gap of price action here. We should pass through this range pretty quickly, and we are. And then the larger area jumps in here at $17 shelf to the $15 price range. So a lot more shares traded at this area. That's why it's my price target. That, and it's the perfect, test of the lowest point and so on and so forth. That's our meme stocks.